Halloween!
Hey everyone, it's Paige. Welcome back to my channel. In the spirit of Halloween, which is possibly the day that you are seeing this video, I am going to do my annual spooky book recommendation video with the help of Troy, of course. I also have the help of Kaz today as well, who you might actually be able to hear purring. Before we get started today, I just wanted to quickly announce that I officially have an active and very well put together Discord. The Discord is called Paiging Through Club, and you can find a link in the community tab under this channel, and you can also find a link in my Instagram bio. The Discord channel is for anything from chatting about books, to chatting about games, to chatting about life, but if you are also looking for a monthly book club, we are officially starting our own on that Discord channel, and the first book that we're going to read is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. That is going to start November 1st. I'm not holding you here, bro. Do you want down? Here. Anyway, that was my only announcement for today, so let's get started with the list of books. So let's begin with number 1. This is a recommendation that I have for anyone who loves classic Gothic horror. This is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. This is, no surprise, an historical fiction Gothic horror that is primarily set in the 1800s in the English countryside. It follows a newly widowed woman named Elsie who goes away to live on her late husband's estate. When she arrives to this estate, which is pretty neglected, she notices a locked door on one of the upper floors. Behind this door, she discovers a painted figure, and as time goes on, she starts to feel like this figure is following her and its eyes sort of move around the room when she's in it. Purcell does a really good job of making this feel very authentic. It definitely reminded me a lot of The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. It definitely didn't feel like a contemporary book, so I really applaud Purcell for being able to pull that off. Okay, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is a contemporary paranormal horror novel that I read very recently and I really enjoyed. And that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix has easily become one of my favorite authors in the past couple of years. Ever since I read his Horror Store, I have pretty much been willing to read anything he writes, and he never really disappoints. Even though the title of this is pretty odd, it actually kind of self-explains its own plot. This follows a middle-aged woman named Patricia. She is the mother of 2 children. She devotes herself to this book club that starts with all of the other women in the town. The Southern Book Club is a collection of basically stay-at-home moms. One day, however, a strange man comes into town. With his arrival comes some missing children, some weird occurrences that set Patricia off, and it is up to the book club to solve the mystery of what is going on in their town and how to protect their children from whatever this is. It's kind of like a silly concept, but the book makes fun of itself, but also kind of makes fun of the reader for feeling like it's a silly concept. So these women who are always underestimated by their communities, by their husbands, by their kids, are suddenly the heroes of the town. It's kind of cool. Okay, let's move along to number 3. This next one I have for you is for all of you who don't really like horror, but you do like mystery. This is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is a young adult contemporary mystery that is set in a fictional boarding school. This is multi-perspective. However, the primary perspective is that of a young teenager, Stevie Bell. Stevie Bell is a true crime aficionado, right? Aficionado. I missed an N. Aficionado. Aficionado. And she aspires to attend Ellingham Academy in Vermont because Ellingham has this dark history of crime due to the fact that the owner's wife and daughter went missing in this hugely mysterious case back in, I'm gonna say probably like the 20s or 30s, I can't remember off the top of my head. So when Stevie is accepted to the academy, her project is to solve this like 100-year-old mystery. The book is called Truly Devious because the person who kidnapped the owner's wife and daughter signed their puzzle notes as Truly Devious. The problem is that when Stevie starts attending Ellingham, Truly Devious seems to make a comeback. Okay, moving on to number 4. Number 4 is another contemporary mystery novel, except this one is definitely more on the adult spectrum, and it is more so a crime thriller, fiction of course. So that is The Whisper Man by Alex North. The pacing of this book is really excellent, and it lends itself wonderfully to the mystery of the novel. There are also a ton of red herrings in this novel, which I really appreciated, but the end result of the story still made sense. After the death of his wife, our protagonist Tom relocates to a new town called Featherbank with his very young son. The town that Tom moves to actually has a dark history with a serial killer that was once called the Whisper Man. And what the Whisper Man was known to do is stand outside young children's windows and whisper to them until they came out, at which point he abducted them. The Whisper Man was supposedly caught and charged with his crimes. However, just as Tom and his son move into the town, a young child disappears, and their disappearance seems to mimic the Whisper Man disappearances. And at that point, Tom's son starts to hear whispers at night. I think if you typically reach for supernatural thriller, then this is something you would really like. This is also multi-perspective, but all of the perspectives really come together and make a very seamless whole. So I highly recommend trying this at least, and I really think you'll like it. Okay, let's move on to our last one, number 5. Alright, my last one is actually another historical fiction Gothic horror. This one is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I bought this, I think, the day it came out. I was so obsessed with her Gods of Jade and Shadow that I knew I was going to like this, and I did, of course. This novel is set during the 50s in Mexico. Our protagonist is a girl named Naomi, who one day receives a letter from her newly married cousin that really alarms her. And it's basically a cry for help to Naomi. So Naomi packs up her stuff and heads to the countryside to stay at her cousin's husband's estate. Now, her cousin's husband is actually an Englishman whose family settled in the Mexican countryside to conduct like business there. And when Naomi arrives, she realizes that this whole estate is basically in disrepair. The family has definitely fallen on hard times. And the longer that Naomi stays in this estate, the more she uncovers about the family and about the family's past. This book is so atmospheric, and the characters are very interesting. The conclusion of the story is very interesting. It definitely takes a turn that I wouldn't have expected. I think if you're looking for like a weird, kind of spooky, very mysterious novel to read on Halloween, that this is the perfect book to pick up. And of course, I've already pitched it, but I also recommend her Gods of Jade and Shadow. Alright, those were all of my recommendations for you today. Of course, these books are good to read all year round. I read horror all year round, all the time. Most of these books I didn't read during Halloween or even October. I'm always looking for new book recommendations myself, so if you have any that you would like to give me, please put them in the comments below. Shout out to Troy for another great video. I hope to do this every single year and laugh at all of our shenanigans.
Hashtag find Troy's head.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads. I will see you back here very soon. And yeah, see ya, bye!
Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you dip. Oh! 2, 3, 4.
I'm already laughing.
1,
oh,
2. Wiggly
fingers.
1.
They're called jazz hands.
No, you're a skeleton. You're wiggly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look it up. 1, 2.
Three.
No.
What?
No, where you go? You're like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no turn. No leg.
How am I supposed to help that?
You have to. And begin. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Put your hands on your hips and bring your knees in tight.
2, 3, 4. It's gonna be now. It is happening as I say now.
Okay, ready?
Yep, ready. Ready?